200-yard games, just one 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future is really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jordan Cameron is tight end, the intended receiver. Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
They run again with Ajayi. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get... It's caught inside the 25. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. Going for it all. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
On 3rd down, Griffin. And incomplete here on 3rd down. That time they were looking for the former Auburn Tiger, Ricardo Lewis. And that brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. 4th down. Here's RG3. Oh, it's dropped. He couldn't hang on. That would have been a big interception. Instead, they'll have a chance to get 3. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico. Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England. Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun. Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. Barkevious Mingo from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes. 6 yards on the pickup. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for Miami. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion. And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles? Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big... It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taylor Gabriel, 78 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side. No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half. Coons on now to kick this one away following the score. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now the Browns get ready as they head back out there. They're just hoping for more of the same. Last time they forced the punt that led to a score. They flipped the field essentially, and that's what you want to do as a defense. Make sure that you put your offense in a great position to run their offense and put the ball in the end zone. That's exactly what they accomplished. Well, they accomplished that last time. What will they accomplish this go-around? That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year. Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready? Let's go. The Los Angeles Rams. Ooh. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West. They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Dolphins haven't played their best football.
Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. The guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here's Landry. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Second down following the run.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taylor Gabriel, 81 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Coons on now to kick this one away following the score. Now Damian Williams to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Dolphins are going to get a first down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Tannehill now. They give to Ajayi. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Desmond Bryant, the one to